We might be out of focus. What's up, Vlog Squad?
What's up? Today's vlog is gonna be about
the dart shooting.
As you can see, we are very productive stage manager. You're about to get a sweet Nintendo game on camera. Anyways, this is going in the documentary. This is how we're gonna open the documentary.
Okay, hold on.
That's a great question.
And feel free to try it in different ways, right? Because you're combining two separate moments into one.
The structural analysis becomes our documentation, okay? All right, I begin. What was the first thing Dante did?
He was looking at it and I was like, oh, what did he swipe his finger on? And it was 100% the second time and the whole time I was looking.
And wait, in 7, do you kind of agree that he...
Oh, I didn't think he put his hand in the hole. I thought he let the energy just grab him, but...
Okay.
I end.
It definitely felt like a sort of ending to something, like maybe a life or something, because like it looked like you just kind of picked up the barren waste that you had and realized it was nothing.
Very similar to that. I definitely felt like combining that idea and the pondering. It was very much like something was obviously they felt the same.
This time, I'm going to layer something on top of this that perhaps is going to change this moment. You're not going to do anything different, but I'm going to layer something on top that has a maybe very different feel. You can layer on and go with like the feel of a moment, or you can layer something on that completely changes.
I thought the quietness made it feel like now he was trying to convince us he was happy, but he wasn't.
Yeah, and words kind of reinforce that a little bit, right?
The words definitely reinforce because when Tucker said, because of where you're standing, you fell.
He was like happy, and we were all observing and standing around him, and by him falling and accepting and being calm, we are physically in a position of power over him.
That's why I had you stand, because I wanted everybody to feel like sort of complicit, like nobody has the whole story.
I definitely didn't think that it would be like quite as creative. Like I knew it was going to be a creative class, but like we're definitely using a lot more elements besides just light, which is what our prompt was. So I'm a dancer, so like dancing just is my favorite form of like art and theater. And like we do one scene with like a family towards the end of the show that I got to be like a big part of, and that made me really excited just to like have my hands in that. It's definitely way more collaborative. Usually when I'm choreographing for a show or like a number, I'm alone in like just in here in the black box or the main stage. But this time, like the people who were in the like scene with me got to like give their own takes on it, which I liked a lot more. Actually, I prefer to work with a group than like by myself. I think they're going to be really surprised. It's not your normal show, and I'm excited for them to get to like kind of travel through this like space with us and just experience it like almost like they're a part of the show.
Each space really created the moment. Like I know specifically for us, there were a couple points where we were like, let's just do this out here, and then like the sun would shine and we'd be like, oh, like let's use the light of the sun. And so it was just very interesting to see how like the setting became its own character.
Right.
It was kind of like a different way of seeing it. I thought it was just like producing a play, just like normally you do in productions. But no, it's like moment work. It's finding those special moments and finding those like moments that we do in whatever action you do, and it means something in some completely different way, even if it's like political, social, anything like that. So that's what I didn't expect when I came in or when I was doing the assignments, and then when we was actually going to class, like the first time we did class and we did moment work, I didn't expect to be like that. I thought there was going to be a script or lines, but it was just us and what we thought of whatever think or action we do. Because especially when we added elements of lights, when we added elements of sound, when it was just not movement, but when we add like theoretical elements that made a show, it definitely have a different feeling, because each of those elements had something, it had a cause. If I'm talking to somebody that doesn't have no idea to Devised Theatre, I feel like it's pure instinct, creating a moment off of a symbol. As an electrician myself, I make sure I light the whole stage. But with Devised Theatre and the lights that we use, the whole stage can be dark, and you can just have like one little flashlight, and maybe you can barely see the person, maybe you can see a half of a person, maybe you can't see the person at all. Lights for Devised, you make those symbolism of what that moment is and what it means, and it makes you think more.
There is a crack. That's how the light gets in. 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 Light! Light!
Crack.
Light!
Everything.
Light! No! Light!
Crack. Stay close to the cracks, to the broken places, where people weep and cry out in pain.
Stay close to the cracks where the unknown reside. People squawk and squander, their dignity aside. Stay close to the cracks where the fear is blinded by the still light, never to be dark. But the fear of the still light becomes irrelevant.
You'll still stay close to the cracks. But watch for the boot-trampled flowers that'll never bloom the same.
In a place outside of time, but alive in memory, beings exist alone and hungry.
Where I come from, if you're not a certain way, you don't belong. This can be seen time and time again throughout history, and no matter where you go, there's some form of it. Society just doesn't seem to like change. This can be for a lot of reasons. Control. Religion, tradition, closed-mindedness. And I tried for a good bit to be something that I wasn't, so that I could pretend I'd have somewhere to be. I would pretend to like things that I didn't, and believe in things that I didn't, and be comfortable with people that I wasn't. I tried for so long to be something that I wasn't, so that my mom and dad wouldn't get mad at me, and so that the people at my church wouldn't make fun of me and belittle me, so the people at my school wouldn't talk about me behind my back and say mean things about me. I tried for so long to be something that I wasn't, only to mess up and act out, and in turn I would get shot down. It took me a long time to learn that I was me. And there was no changing that. And I wasn't like everyone else. And that there are people like me, individuals who are embracing their individuality, and who are working to break the cycle of closed-mindedness. People who are working together to make a more united and diverse and successful world. Individuals coexisting to make a better world.
In high school, I was always on the edge of friend groups. Because of this, I never really had to deal with any friend group conflicts. Since being in college, though, things have changed. I've made a lot of new connections, and because of that, I've gained a lot more relationship experience than I had previously. But a lot of that relationship experience has consisted of me making mistakes and hurting people I care about. Hurting people you care about sucks, and it sucks to realize I am not as good of a person as I thought I was. But the good news is that I've been learning. I've struggled with feeling guilty my whole life, and coming to terms with my failures is painful. But I think growth is always the light shining through the cracks. Perfectly imperfect as humans are.
You're never on time. You know you're never on time. Oh, you know that deep inside your mind. And it doesn't matter anyways, but you wouldn't make it. Oh, this fun! You threw me away.
What's going on?
That's something wrong. Look. No, you do not see it. He was here. Did you see it? No, I don't know. I'm gonna go.
Listen to me, I do not have time for this. I need to wake up in the morning, I gotta go to work. I need you to go to sleep.
That's how the light gets in.
In me. In me?
In me.
In me? In you.
Stay close to the cracks,
To the broken places where people weep and cry out in pain.
Stay close to the cracks.
where the ribs stand out stark and sharp from the gnawing hunger inside.
Stay close to the cracks.
They will lead you to the sore spots of the world where the sickly sweet sap oozes onto your skin.
Stay close to the cracks.
Where the past past resides, leaving echoes and restless tragedy from which we learn.
Stay close to the cracks.
And press your ear to the wall.
Listen to your heartbeat reverberate through and know you are alive.
Stay close to the cracks.
That is where the light will shine in.
We end.